Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about your watershed. What, may you ask, is a watershed? Well, it's all the land that drains into a common area, like a river or a lake, or an aquifer, which is all the groundwater that's housed in an area, stored in an area, or an ocean. Around here, we have water that drains into the Battle Creek River, the Kalamazoo River, sometimes Beetle Lake, depending on where you are. And sometimes your water drains into creeks that lead to those larger bodies of water. We're going to do that in class today with a little experiment. So what I did was I took a scrap piece of paper and I bundled it up, opened it up, and then you see all these weirdo peaks and valleys. And I colored the peaks. I added just a little bit of marker on there. So here you can totally see the marker, and since we're working with water and watersheds, we've got to add water to it. I have my rain simulator again, also known as a cup of water and a pipette. So we're going to rain right on some of those areas. Ooh, you can see that changing. Look at what's happening to the colors. Can you see what's happening down there? What happened to this water? And this water over here. Oh, there it goes right down the hill. See that color getting washed away by the water. More and more water gets added. Water flows down the hill, takes things with it. And underneath you'll see that I prepared my paper towel, and here is where I spilled water, but normally water is going to soak into this as well. If we had done this in class, well, we would have made a little bit bigger of a mess, and water would have soaked through that top piece of paper into this, which would show that water doesn't just stay on the top of ground, it also soaks in, and that's what makes the groundwater. But my question now is, what does that color that wash away, what did that represent? What was it showcasing? In class we had discussions about how it would be soil, or it could be plants, but plants don't wash away, and if there's plants on something, soil doesn't either. What does wash away, however, are pollutants. And that's what the water carries with it as it runs across the land. It carries different pollutants. It could be fertilizers that you add to your yard. It could be whatever drips and leaks out of your car as it's sitting in the parking lot, and then a big rainstorm comes and it washes it into the sewer. It could absolutely be that. Those are some of the pollutants that we deal with in a watershed that end up making its way into different reservoirs. So your work part comes on page 36 and page 37. Page 36 and 37. Here we're going to do writing. There's going to be a picture. Directions are right up on top. And on page 36, I have 13 words that I need for you to use somewhere on that page. Particles, and they can be pollutant particles or water particles. Gravity, maybe that's what helps control how water flows or influence how water flows. Precipitation, geosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, talking about all of our spheres. I'm going to predict that there's probably a question about interacting spheres on this one. Groundwater, where the water soaks into the ground, into an aquifer or other reserve. Pollutants, downhill, reservoir, soil, erosion, and watershed. And I can already see how some things are going to flow downhill. So go ahead and get pages 36 and 37 done, and I'll see you in class.